When the mark of Wulfgar's legendary warhammer is found on the person of pirate Sheila Cree, Drizzt Do'Urden knows his friend is in dire need of his help. Thus, Drizzt, Catti-brie, Regis, and Brunner spring into action, determined to save Wulfgar and recover Aegis Fane once and for all. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Hembar, and today we'll be doing a spoiler-free review of R.A. Salvatore's Sea of Swords. Sea of Swords is a 2001 novel by R.A. Salvatore. It is book 3 in the Pass of Darkness, or it was originally book 4, but the Sellswords trilogy kind of got pulled out of it. So the first book, which was originally Pass of Darkness, got separated. So now it's book 3, and it is therefore book 13 in the Legend of Drizzt. It is set in 1366 DR, and I have previously reviewed The Spine of the World and the Silent Blade, I believe, but not any of the other previous Drizzt books, though I've reviewed all of those on my blog, just not on this channel. So this is a pirate pirating at the very beginning, and she is a potential target of the sea sprites, for she has Aegis Fane. There is also a half-elf set to hunt down Drizzt. Drizzt and Catti-brie are in Icewind Dale. Brunner and Regis are also present. They don't know the whereabouts of Wulfgar. They last knew he was in Luskan, but they think he could even maybe be dead at this point. Their first goal, besides defending 10 towns, is to search for him. Wulfgar is at sea. Recently, he has been redeemed, as told in the last book. He is with Deli Curdy and is now an adoptive father. He searches for Aegis Fane and is actually on Sea Sprite doing so. The fighting starts quickly, as you'd imagine. This one felt good to read. I'm not a huge fan of the series. This one reminded me some of the early adventures that so many love. Reminded me of my late friend that enjoyed the Drizzt books, so maybe I could be less critical this time around. That being said, there is still much action that becomes monotonous, and you don't worry for the companions of the hall, as, you know, Drizzt is a Mary Sue and everyone's fine, essentially. And, you know, I'm sure there's problems here, and it's not much beyond, you know, basic entertainment. We have ogres and silly gnome diviner, a misguided assassin, distrustful of all drow. We have goblins. There's no intrigue. I found this last refreshing. Instead, we have Loranel, who is obsessed with Drizzt, while the big bad is Sheila Cree. I actually like Loranel's character to a point. It's not really well done, but it's an interesting concept. Of course, Interior is probably busy at this time, as the Sellswords trilogy follows him and Darlaxle, book 1 of that, again, originally being the third book in the series. I wonder what would be if it had stayed that way, seeing as potentially Salvatore is trying to get away from Drizzt books, as book 12 was about Wulfgar and book 13 about Intrigue, and I think this was shortly after he had stopped writing Drizzt for a while, actually, and that's where the Mark Antony Drizzt pastiche comes in, which was eventually not published. There was one moment that really surprised me, and it made me enjoy the book even more, and Brunner has an interesting story arc in this one. This is by no means a favorite, but I'm not to the point, 17 books in, that I know, I know what Salvatore offers at this point. If I wasn't reading through all the Realms books, I likely wouldn't read any more of these books, but they do remind me of my late friend, like I said, so there's something nostalgic about that, and, you know, there is some redeeming qualities here, though, again, definitely not a favorite, not by any means, but in a lot of ways, this one's more enjoyable than Spine of the World, so take that as you will, at least.